for Part 3, and provided editorial input on Chapter 14, Telling the Net Zero Story. Their contributions to net zero business models were legion. They brought clarity and precision to the concept of the four pathways and brought a unique combination of experience, wisdom, and levity to the writing process. To help ensure the narrative voice of this book is authentic and credible, John decided to conform his life and consulting business to the net zero emissions economy to better understand the kind of transformation that this entails. During the COVID-19 pandemic, John had already reduced his flight miles from 50,000 per year to 0, curtailed his driving in an electric Chevrolet Bolt to 4,000 miles per year, and given up a small office in Point Reyes Station to work from home. John discovered, however, that he had a long way to go to conform his business and personal lives to a net zero emissions economy. John and his wife, Maggie, installed a solar power system and a rain catchment system to irrigate the garden. They replaced the remaining incandescent bulbs in their house with low-wattage LED lights, and are replacing a propane furnace that heats a radiant water heating system with a heat pump powered by the new solar system. Mark and his wife, Susan, have been on a similar personal journey to create a smart and sustainable home. This included complete LED lighting with indoor and outdoor lighting automation and internet-enabled thermostats to control heating and cooling, which resulted in improved energy efficiency and energy conservation for their home. Mark uses a 56-volt electric-powered lawnmower, leaf blower, and snow blower. All are powered by the Ontario Electric Power Grid, whose power generation mix is 93% carbon-free energy. John enrolled in Being First's course, Leading Transformational Change. Being First's co-founders, Dean and Linda Anderson, are two of the world's foremost experts on corporate transformation, and co-authors of Beyond Change Management and The Change Leader's Roadmap. Dean and Linda's life work helped us see that conforming a company's business model to a net zero economy will often require an epic transformation of the entire company. Their work helped us refine the narrative arc of net zero business models, provided us with many useful insights to frame some of the concepts in this book, and provided much of the foundation for Chapter 12, Preparing to Lead the Transformation. The last 3 years also dispelled whatever residual skepticism John may have had about the reality of climate change. During the 2019 Kincaid fire that burned 77,000 acres in neighboring Sonoma County, John and Maggie were without power and water for 6 days and sheltered 6 evacuees and their 6 pets until they could return home safely. The Woodward Fire, which burned nearly 5,000 acres in the Point Reyes National Seashore in 2020, came within a mile of their house and put them on evacuation standby for 3 weeks. And 2021 was the second consecutive year of severe drought and brought water rationing to their hamlet. As we write this, a heat wave that brought record temperatures of 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 46 degrees Celsius, to Sonoma County is finally subsiding. What really motivated us to write this book, however, was not the fires and drought, but observing John's new greenhouse. Growing tomatoes in the cool, foggy coastal climate of Northern California is almost impossible. In his greenhouse, however, tomatoes thrive. The greenhouse gets so hot in the summer that they must open the windows and doors to prevent the tomatoes from wilting to death. His greenhouse made the urgency of our climate crisis real to us. There are no windows and doors in our atmosphere to let out the extra heat trapped by greenhouse gases, as there are in John's greenhouse. Today, we are excited to share this book and provide insights about best practices and direction for the global conversation about net zero, and to help companies compete to win in the emerging global net zero emissions economy. We are optimistic that collectively we can innovate and transform the global economy into a net zero emissions one in time for our children, grandchildren.